you who are watching. It was a fun hour. Join us next week, same time, same station. God's willing, we should be back to do it all over again. Until then, so long.
You can open a Sagicor Bank savings account from anywhere. Go online and open yours today.
The time by Sagicor Bank is
Tonight in CVM News, Minister of Religion among three charged with alleged robbery. IDB Group unveils $500 billion financing expansion, rolls out new regional initiatives. Sandals Foundation donates buses valued at $16 million to be retrofitted as ambulances. And later on in sports, CASAFA president disappointed with support for parish associations. Hello from Kingston, Jamaica. This is CVM News at 7 for Saturday, March 14, 2026. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Curlin Brown. Murder, conspiracy to murder, wounding with intent, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony are charges that have been laid against two men following the March 7 murder of 21-year-old Jordan Miller, otherwise called Jay, of Retirement District in Brownstown, St. Anne. Charged are 35-year-old Lonnie Jackson, otherwise called Akadat, a taxi driver, and 31-year-old Sheldon Allen, otherwise called Tall Strap, both of a St. Anne address. Reports from the St. Anne's Bay Police are Miller and Allen were allegedly involved in a confrontation that Saturday night, during which Allen reportedly used a machete to chop Miller on the head. It's further alleged that Jackson got involved when Allen called him. Jackson, who was armed, opened fire, hitting Miller in the chest and face, after which the men, who are said to be friends, fled the scene. The police, who were alerted, transported Miller to hospital for treatment. He, however, succumbed to his injuries. Allen and Jackson were subsequently arrested and charged after several statements were recorded from eyewitnesses, as well as based on a caution statement collected from them admitting to the crime. And the Minister of Religion is among three charged following an alleged robbery along the Golden Valley Main Road in Castleton, St. Mary, also on Saturday, March 7. Charged are 34-year-old Alfonso Hines, a Minister of Religion of Olympic Way, Kingston 11, 27-year-old Jermaine Small, otherwise called Natty, and 70-year-old Dudley Williams, otherwise called Dudas, both of Old Golden Spring Road, Kingston 9. Reports from the Anotta Bay Police are at about 5:30 in the morning. Three men were traveling in a white Toyota Axia motor car when the vehicle developed mechanical problems and came to a stop. Now, based on the reports, the occupants exited the vehicle, and while the driver opened the bonnet to check the engine, Another male approached, brandished a firearm, and robbed them of their electronic devices and cash amounting to just over $1 million and fled on foot. Now the police were alerted. However, based on their swift investigations, it was revealed it was Hines, who was initially believed to be a complainant, allegedly orchestrated the robbery. Court dates are being finalized for the trio. The Inter-American Development Bank, the IDB Group, says it plans to double its development firepower, projecting up to $500 billion in financing over the next decade. This is more than double the amount of the previous 10 years. The IDB Group says the move is to drive jobs, infrastructure, and growth across Latin America and the Caribbean. Our reporter Amoy Harriot is still in Paraguay, where other initiatives were announced.
We've come to the end of the 66th IDB Group annual meetings here in Asuncion, Paraguay. Over the past few days, Curlin, I've had the privilege of sitting in on some very, very important, life-changing discussions between policymakers, development experts, private sector leaders, and even government leaders right across the region of both Latin America and the Caribbean. Now, even today, on the final day of the meetings, there were some very important announcements that were made. The IDB Group unveiled major initiatives aimed at boosting transparency, improving procurement, and accelerating private sector-led growth across Latin America and the Caribbean. The announcements include the launch of Procure Plus, a comprehensive reform of procurement across IDB-financed operations designed to strengthen competition, improve spending, and add value to project performance. Also announced is the LAC Cresse, a growth platform for accelerating private sector-led growth through sequenced, prioritized, and financed action. The IDB Group also revealed a $3.5 billion capital increase for IDB Invest and plans to expand the IDB Group's development financing capacity to $500 billion over the next decade. IDB President Elon Golfan says this year's annual meetings were a success.
Today we can say that the subscription process for the capital increase of the IDB Invest has been successfully closed, and the same is true for IDB Labs MIF 4. This strengthens our capacity to mobilize resources to actually reach what we want, which are the results. And this is what we have been discussing over the years, over the rest of the time. We talk about the results, how many million people we have achieved, how many million companies we have achieved in different areas. We talk about priorities for the year. So we talk about the launch of IDB LAC Minerals, which is a way for us to put together the whole group to promote growth in order to generate development, jobs, and less poverty.
Now, viewers, if you've been watching from Wednesday, you would have seen a few reports that I've shared over the last couple of days. But even outside of these reports, and even outside of what I am sharing with you right now, there's still a lot more coming out of the IDB Group annual meetings. And over the course of the next few days, leading into next week, I will be sharing those information with you. But until then, it's back to you in studio. I am, for the final time, Amoy Harriot, reporting from Asuncion, Paraguay, for CVM News.
Thanks, Amoy. Back home now, the modernizing and strengthening of the services provided by the Department of Corrections are being bolstered across the island. The latest initiative is being described as a pivotal step in advancing the nation's rehabilitation agenda. We get more details now from Damien Phillips, including what it all means for those who impact the judicial system positively and or negatively.
It's official, the opening of the newly renovated St. James Probation Office. The new facility is staffed by a 12-member team comprising 6 probation aftercare officers, 1 registration officer, a senior officer, 2 senior secretaries, an office attendant, and the principal probation aftercare officer.
Today's ceremony represents more than just the opening of a physical space. It symbolizes vision, progress, and a deep commitment to strengthening community corrections in Jamaica.
The transformation of the office provides for, among other things, a modern, professional and welcoming environment, facilitating greater focus on confidentiality, a conference room for case discussions, group therapy sessions, training rooms and storage facilities.
These improvements will greatly enhance privacy, professionalism, and efficiency in delivering our comprehensive services to the clientele we serve.
A significant responsibility placed on the branch as it highlights the vital role officers play in community supervision, public safety, and the rehabilitation and reintegration of those guilty of committing criminal offences.
Our hard-working, committed probation aftercare officers across our 4 regions and 18 probation offices, the branch is responsible for supervising a caseload of 2,055 non-custodial offender clients. Included within this number are 361 parolees, individuals who are serving the remainder of their custodial sentences within the community under the watchful eyes of their assigned officers.
Aftercare probation officers travel to volatile areas both in rural and urban centers to supervise clients, support families, and work with stakeholders to promote safer and stable communities. Complex responsibilities for officers who are oftentimes undervalued within Jamaica's justice framework.
I must thank them for the invaluable service that they give to the St. James Parish Court. They have assisted us tremendously in our delivery of justice in a timely and efficient manner.
This dedicated group of public servants who faithfully serve in difficult and demanding conditions deserves to benefit from the remote inducement allowance, for which other eligible groups are still in receipt.
The services will be expanded across the country with working conditions for staff to increase productivity and strengthen the quality and reach of the services provided to clients. It's all in a bid to ensure persons rebuild their lives and contribute to society. Government officials insisting they remain firmly committed to giving full support.
The Ministry of National Security and Peace remains steadfast in our commitment to supporting these kinds of initiatives that strengthen rehabilitation outcomes and also one that will promote safer communities.
We are going to be making a much bigger push this coming financial year in supporting persons as they reintegrate into societies. And so this work directly supports our national goal of reducing crime and reducing repeat offending.
This office also signals the beginning of a broader transformation across all 4 regions and 18 probation offices. Currently, other probation offices are being renovated, expanded to provide the required office space, are being relocated in order to achieve the ideal future state probation offices across the Department of Correctional Services.
We expect to be opening additional offices, Minister. We have Portmore, Spanish Town, South Camp, and St. Anne coming up very shortly.
For CVM News, I'm Damon Phillips.
The Mayor of Lucy, Sheridan Samuels, is reporting that working conditions at the Hanover Municipal Corporation building have now become unbearable and require prompt action. More in this report from Carla Ramdeen.
This was the state of the Hanover Municipal Corporation building when CVM visited on Thursday. Leaking roof, deteriorating floors, and damaged equipment. Sheridan Samuels is the mayor of Lucy.
The challenges posed by the deteriorating structure, particularly the leaking roof, the damage to offices, equipment, and records, and the overall unsafe working condition continue to affect the efficiency of our operation and the well-being of our staff.
He says the relevant authorities have been informed, but to date, no response. The mayor says the dilapidated state of the building has become a serious safety hazard.
And you know how serious it is. I can hardly stay in my office because of the respiratory problems that I'm having coming out of this.
The mayor said that an application was made some time ago to temporarily relocate staff members until the municipal building is renovated.
For the relocation is really Watson Taylor Park, and presently there's a structure there that we are trying to get to see at least of our planning department to relocate there. We're having a little challenge about it, but we are moving forward, and I think it will work out positive for us.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
The sustained support of Sandals International Resorts through the Sandals Jamaica Foundation has again breathed new life into the emergency response capabilities of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, following the donation of 2 Ufonto buses valued at approximately $16 million to be retrofitted and deployed as ambulances for the Port Maria Fire Station and St. Anne's Bay. Joel Crosskill has that story.
Speaking at the handing over ceremony, Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie spoke to the timeliness of the donation as part of the Hurricane Melissa rebuilding effort.
Sandals, I am grateful beyond words this morning.
In 2025, the Sandals Foundation donated 2 ambulances for emergency service support to St. James and St. Anne.
But for us to expand the country after the passage of Melissa, it means that collectively, with the kind of responsibilities that we have as Jamaicans, it is important for us to develop partnership. And Sandals have been doing that, and again, I want on behalf of a grateful nation, not just because of the people here in St. Mary and St. Anne, but the wider Jamaica will see the benefit of these new vehicles that you are donating to help to preserve life.
Representing first responders, Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Stuart Beckford, expressed deep gratitude for the donations.
You are providing more than just equipment. You are providing a lifeline. Your vision ensures that when our citizens are at their most vulnerable, they will have the support they need. Thank you for being a true partner in the well-being of Jamaica. And a sincere gratitude on behalf of the men and women of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, and of course the Ministry of Local Government, for this monumental boost to our public health infrastructure and the safety of our citizens.
Minister McKenzie also spoke of a commitment the Sandals Resorts International CEO Adam Stewart had made to further enhance healthcare along the northern corridor.
He did indicate to me that he will be supporting us by providing air-conditioned units for the new infirmaries that we are putting down in Falmouth, which was totally destroyed by Melissa. And when we start the new one, he said Sandals will be on board. I want to commend Sandals. And this is not about making profit. They are there to make profit, but it's also important that something is given back to the country, and Sandals have been playing their part, not just today, not just yesterday, not last week or the week before, nor last year.
Joel Crosskill, CVM News.
And CVM News at 7 will continue in just a moment.
the internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Audrey Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Welcome back to CVM News. It's time now for our regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. Cuba's government says it has been holding talks with the U.S., confirming ongoing speculation as officials try to find a way forward amidst a severe energy crisis. President Donald Trump has made no secret of his desire to see the island nation's leadership changed. France 24 has that report.
Cuba says it plans to release 51 prisoners as a demonstration of goodwill, following talks between its foreign minister and Pope Leo at the Vatican. This comes as Havana confirmed it's also been talking to Washington. President Donald Trump has made no secret of his desire for a change in leadership.
These conversations have been aimed at seeking solutions through dialogue to the bilateral differences that exist between our two nations.
The oil embargo imposed by the Trump administration following its capture of the Venezuelan leader has brought the island's economy to the brink of collapse. Cuba's president acknowledging that conditions in the country are dire.
Today we can confirm that no oil tanker has entered our country in the last 3 months. And we have been working under very adverse conditions that have immeasurable impact on the lives of our people.
Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar is defending Trinidad and Tobago's decision to join the Americas Counter-Cartel Coalition, insisting the country's crime crisis cannot be solved on its own. TTT News tells us more.
Just a couple days after leaving the United States, where she participated in the Shield of the Americas Summit, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar made her case for TNT signing on to the Americas Counter-Cartel Coalition. She noted that crime is no longer a purely domestic problem, which now stretches across continents.
These networks, they move cocaine, they move heroin, they move synthetic drugs, what is called fentanyl, I think. They move them through our waters and ports. And what happens in return? In return, while these are moving, illegal firearms, arms trafficking, illicit money flow back into our community.
The Prime Minister outlined the key commitments agreed to by coalition members when the proclamation was signed on March 7th.
Criminal cartels and foreign terrorist organizations in our hemisphere, Western Hemisphere, must be fully dismantled. 2, the USA and its allies, including TNT, will coordinate to deprive these organizations of financing, resources, and territory.
And in international news, U.S. President Donald Trump has called on the U.K. and other nations to join the U.S. in sending ships to help secure the Strait of Hormuz. Earlier, President Trump had said military targets on Iran's key oil island Harg had been totally obliterated. We turn to the BBC.
The Iran war enters its third week. President Trump marked the occasion by posting these pictures on social media. He described strikes on military targets on Harg Island, Iran's main export terminal for oil, as one of the most powerful bombing raids in the history of the Middle East. Tehran, he claimed, was totally defeated and wanted a deal, but he wouldn't say for how long the war will continue.
I can't tell you that. I mean, I have my own idea, but what good does it do? It'll be as long as it's necessary. They've been decimated. Their country's in bad shape. The whole thing is collapsing.
Tehran, in response, warned that oil and energy infrastructure belonging to the firm.
Now, after years on a dedicated journey from surgery through rehabilitation to fitting and prosthetic training to include building strength and balance, an Inspire Jamaica ambassador is thankful for the long-term intervention. Now, in looking towards the next chapter, it's encouraging to know the focus includes giving back.
Make this world a better place if you can.
From an Inspire Jamaica toddler, now 18-year-old Nodia Nodi Watson, Inspire Jamaica ambassador and a proud Westwood High sixth former.
Hey again, guys. As you can see, I changed my whole attire from last time. So basically, it has been a very interesting journey. No man's journey can basically be summed up with these 2 feet right here. So as you can see with my new prosthetic leg, since this is basically marking my final journey, wow, what an opportunity. Well, from that point on, since I've been 3-4 years old, since 2011, it has been certainly a wild ride. From basically having no legs, running around on my knees and all of that, to now being able to stand before you today and do all kind of stuff, dances and all them sitting there. So I just wanted to again point out Shriners for all that they have done for me for about 14 or 15 years.
My name is Meredith Reyes. I work at POPS, which stands for Pediatric Orthotic and Prosthetic Services at Shriners Hospitals for Children in Galveston, Texas. And just fell in love with her at the very first because she's so... Nodia has a light inside of her that shines through in her smile and her being, and it was an absolute joy to treat her. She is always willing to try something new and help me figure out what works for her. She comes with goals and just a lot of light and love.
Okay, Inspire Jamaica. So I know it's been a while since you have seen me, since from that time I said I wanted to be a doctor, pediatrician, take care of babies and everything. But now I've shifted my perspective and my focus. Now me in sixth form, and as you can see, I am more interested in the lines of engineering, since growing up around mostly prosthetics and different types of technology and all of that, it has inspired me and fueled me more to want to contribute to who has basically helped me out with my prosthetics, and also to give back to society and to make my mark on basically anywhere in this world. Engineering, though it is a male-dominated type of field, go against the odds and promote better representation for us girls, especially girls who may feel like they aren't enough or are maybe in the same situation as me and quote-unquote disabled. But honestly, I know that we can basically make a difference, make an impact, and with Inspire Jamaica, I can basically show that to you guys that we can be the difference and we can be the change. And I hope more people are interested in engineering as I am right now.
Just look at some of the CSEC pieces of Westwood's top art student for 2025. Just one of the 8 areas in which she has made an impression.
Now, to close out in a true Inspire Jamaica fashion, I have to basically speak to Jamaica on the treatment of us inspirees, or not even inspirees, anybody who may have a disability. Though I may have been energetic and that fun-loving and confident little girl you may have seen before, time can get rough sometimes as you grow up, especially if you are a teenager going into more adulthood and everything, or young adulthood. It can be very much hard to find acceptance because